This CAIE A-Level Maths, Summer 2020, Paper 1, Variant 1, question number 5. In this question, it is given that the equation of the line is y equals to mx plus c, where m and c are constants. It is also given that the equation of the curve is xy equals to 16, and the line is a tangent to the curve. We need to express m in terms of c. Since we know that the equation of the curve is xy equals to 16 and the equation of the line is y equals to mx plus c, we can use these two formulas to solve it simultaneously. So this will give us x into y, which is mx plus c, equals to 16. This will give us mx squared plus cx minus 16 equals to 0. Since we know that the line is a tangent, so the discriminant must be equals to 0. So the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, must be equals to 0. So this will give us c squared minus 4 into m into minus 16 equals to 0. C squared plus 64m equals to 0. Now we need to express m in terms of c. So we need to make m the subject. So this will give us 64m equals to minus c squared and m equals to minus c squared upon 64. In the second part of the question, it is given that m is equal to minus 4 and need to find the set of values of c, which also means it is an inequality. So, and it is also given that the line intersects the curve at two distinct points. So if we copy this part of the formula from the previous part, we duplicate it and bring it down. We need to first replace m equals to minus 4, which will give us minus 4x squared plus cx minus 16 equals to 0. Now we know that the line intersects the curve at two distinct points, which means the discriminant must be greater than 0. So the discriminant b squared minus 4ac must be greater than 0. So this means that this will be c squared minus 4 into minus 16 equals to must be greater than 0. C squared minus 256 must be greater than 0. C squared must be greater than 256 and C must be greater than minus 16 or C must be greater than positive 16. And we can apply the shortcut formula. It's a shortcut and we can just flip the sign of the smaller value. So this will give us C must be less than minus 16 or C must be greater than 16. We can also represent it on a graph. If we draw a graph, let's make a quadratic curve. And let's mark this as positive 16 and let's mark this as negative 16. So we need to find the part of the curve where it where the equation is greater than 0, which means the curve lies above the line y equals to 0, which is this line. You can clearly see that it is this part of the curve. So we can highlight it so that we can remember. And if we look at the answer that we got, we can clearly see that C has to be greater than 16, C has to be greater than 16, or C has to be less than 16. So even if we use the graph, we get the correct answer, which means the shortcut that we applied is also correct.